It all started with a feeling, a subtle shift in perspective. A deep down need for something different, a yearning for something more fulfilling than the everyday. I was stuck in routine, the same tasks, the same faces, the same scenery. I was craving a new life, not just a new job, a complete change of pace and scenery. Poland kept popping into my head, an idea that wouldn't fade away. A country buzzing with history and modern energy, a place where the old meets the new in a vibrant mix. I pictured myself in Warsaw, walking those historic streets, coffee in hand, excited for work, ready to embrace a new professional chapter. The dream became a plan, a tangible goal to work towards. I read blogs, saw stories of challenge and joy, stories of people who had taken the leap and thrived, and felt a pull to this place I'd never visited, a magnetic force drawing me closer. I told friends and family, "I'm moving to Poland," a statement that hung in the air. Their reactions were mixed, ranging from excitement to concern, but my resolve was solid, unshakable. The job offer in tech was my golden ticket, the key that unlocked the door to this new adventure. Warsaw, a city full of opportunity, a place where I could grow and contribute. I started learning Polish phrases, trying to get a grasp of the language, imagining the little things, bakeries filled with delicious pastries, riding the trams, making new friends. The big picture was thrilling, the thought of a new career and a new home. But it was the small details that made it real, the everyday moments that I was starting to anticipate. The visa application felt like a formality, a necessary step, but not a major obstacle. Just one last box to tick, one final piece of paperwork to complete. I was ready to pack my bags and dive in, to fully immerse myself in this new culture. The hope was overwhelming, fueling every step, pushing me forward with unwavering enthusiasm. I could almost touch my new life, feel the cobblestones beneath my feet, hear the Polish language all around me. Or so I thought, because life rarely goes exactly as planned. Why Poland? People asked. But to me it made perfect sense. The economy was booming, especially in IT, my field. Salaries were competitive, cost of living low, and the culture was rich and resilient. Warsaw's story of rebirth inspired me. I wanted to be part of that energy. Work-life balance mattered. Poles valued their free time, something I craved. Poland offered a fulfilling career and a more human way of living. Its location in the heart of Europe was a huge plus. Weekend trips to Berlin or Vienna were within reach. This move was about more than a job, it was a gateway to new experiences. The choice was clear. Poland was the one. A new adventure, a new home. I was ready for the challenge. The journey was about to begin. With my job offer signed and sealed, the excitement was building. It was time to get serious about the logistics. First on the agenda, I tackled the daunting visa application. This was a crucial step, the gateway to my new adventure. The checklist looked deceptively simple at first glance. Passport, forms, work permit, proof of accommodation, insurance. It seemed manageable enough. I meticulously organized everything, feeling surprisingly prepared and on top of things. Until the inevitable work permit delay hit. This is where the real test began. My employer had to apply for it on my behalf, and the agonizing waiting game was my first unwelcome taste of bureaucracy. The days stretched into weeks. When it finally arrived in the mail, a huge wave of relief washed over me. It felt like a major hurdle cleared. But even with the permit in hand, the checklist was frustratingly vague. Did I actually need notarized copies of all these documents? And what about extra translations, just in case? I decided to err on the side of caution and over-prepare, gathering every single possible paper I could think of. The initial consulate visit itself went surprisingly smoothly, but then a week later I received an unexpected email that threw everything into question. Another document was suddenly needed. It felt like the goalposts kept moving further away. I scrambled to quickly send the new letter they requested, but a seed of doubt had been planted, and anxiety began to creep in. The whole process definitely wasn't as clear-cut and straightforward as I'd initially hoped. It was my first real indication that this journey was going to be significantly more complicated and challenging than I had ever imagined, and I knew deep down that the paperwork was really just the very beginning. So I took a deep breath and braced myself, ready to face whatever was coming next. After submitting the extra document, an unnerving silence descended. The flurry of activity that followed the request for additional information abruptly ceased. It was a silence that spoke volumes yet communicated nothing concrete. Weeks slowly passed, each day feeling like an eternity. My flight date, once a beacon of excitement, rapidly approached, casting a long shadow of uncertainty over my plans. The clock was ticking and the pressure was mounting. Anxiety grew with each passing day, a knot tightening in my stomach. The anticipation of a new beginning was slowly being replaced by a gnawing fear of the unknown. I'd already quit my job, taking a leap of faith based on the promise of a new opportunity. I packed up my life, carefully sorting through my belongings, ready to embark on this new chapter. But the embassy remained silent, offering no updates, no reassurance, just an unsettling void of information. Every morning, the first thing I did was check my email, hoping to see that long-awaited message. But there was nothing, just an empty inbox staring back at me. The initial excitement and optimism had slowly turned to stress and worry. The waiting game was taking its toll. My future was on hold, suspended in limbo, waiting for a simple stamp that held the key to my dreams. Calls to the embassy led nowhere, each attempt ending in frustration. I was always met with the same response. Please wait for the official decision. Friends and family excited for me kept asking when I was leaving, but I had no answer, just a shrug and a growing sense of uncertainty. The uncertainty was exhausting, a constant weight on my shoulders. It was seeping into every part of my day, affecting my mood, my focus, and my overall well-being. Sleep became increasingly difficult to come by. My mind was racing with worries. Worst-case scenarios played in my mind, each more terrifying than the last. The dream of Warsaw, the promise of a new life, felt like it was slipping away with each passing day. I felt increasingly isolated, trapped in a situation that no one else seemed to understand. No one truly understood the unique stress and frustration of being stuck in visa limbo, the helplessness of waiting for a decision that was completely out of my control. My new job's start date loomed ever closer, a constant reminder of the ticking clock, and I had to explain the delay to my new employer, a conversation filled with awkwardness and uncertainty. The confident professional who had carefully planned this move was now stuck in a bureaucratic nightmare, at the mercy of a system that seemed indifferent to my dreams. I wondered with a growing sense of despair if I'd ever actually get there, if Warsaw would ever become more than just a distant dream. Desperate for answers, I turned to the internet, forums, Facebook groups, Reddit. Suddenly, I wasn't alone. People everywhere were stuck in the same silent limbo. We shared timelines, tips, and frustrations. I learned the real reasons for delays: overwhelmed embassies, manual processing, a surge in applications. The problem was systemic, not personal. My frustration softened into understanding. The wait wasn't about me. It was about a system struggling to keep up. This knowledge eased my anxiety. My application was just one in a sea of hopefuls. The delays were bigger than any single person. I found comfort in community. We were all caught in the same storm, and together we waited. Looking back, the lessons are clear. Apply as early as possible, double or triple your timeline. Don't book flights or end leases until your visa is in hand. Be meticulous with paperwork, over-prepare if needed. Make your application easy for the case officer to approve. Follow up politely, not aggressively. Include all your details. Join online communities for support and information. Prepare for delays and have a backup plan. Talk to your employer about flexible start dates. Don't sell everything or end your lease too soon. Hope for the best, but prepare for a long wait. This mindset shift gives you control in a powerless situation. The process is tough, but you can get through it. Be ready for anything. After 8 weeks, the email finally came: visa application decision. My heart pounded as I opened it. Approved. Relief and joy washed over me. The limbo was over. The dream was back on track. The journey taught me patience and perseverance. The path wasn't straight, but overcoming challenges made it sweeter. Delays happen, but preparation and mindset are key. Embrace the process, connect with others, and don't let stress overshadow excitement. The online community was a lifeline. Every bit of stress was worth it. My life in Warsaw is everything I hoped for. The visa struggle is now a distant memory. If you're starting this journey, stay positive and prepared. Your adventure is just beginning.